If you flaunt money around, you'll be shocked at how greedy those around you can be. This has been self-care tips on how to navigate your way around as you become more and more successful. I am Irene Joroge.
In recent past, there have been reported cases of highly adulterated honey that could have serious health implications as well as economic consequences. Well, this week on The Process, we take a look at how honey is processed. Once the testing is done, the honey is then weighed in preparation for the warming process.
The Process, proudly brought to you by Buchan Furnitures Limited. Local manufacturers of quality office furniture and dealers in quality office equipment like fireproof safes and cabinets. For orders, visit our showroom at Uni Africa House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street.
This is the Gideon,
Tafadhali madam, nimefanya kazi nimeshamaliza.
Na hapa sidhani kama niko na pesa.
Sitaki kuona ukishindwa na watu wengine. The fact that you're my son means that you have to pull up your socks. Jambo boy. Kota. Hata kuona kaa wewe shamba boy. Sasa nishinda mimi mtu ya coaches. Twende.
This is the Gideon, there's a trillion barriers in my way. This is the Gideon, I am a fair of man. Highly guide way.
Good evening, I am Fayaz Qureshi with the Legends edition on KBC Channel 1. Tonight on The Living Legends, we speak to retired elite cricket umpire Subhash Modi, who officiated at the Commonwealth Games, a Champions Trophy and a World Cup. And our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition is Byron Abudi. First, a quick look at the highlights for tonight's bulletin. Matters security. President Uhuru Kenyatta rallies the African Union to end cases of political instability in the continent. Groping in the dark. Increasing cases of blindness, a nightmare in Baringo. And in sports, Ferdinand Omanyala sets new national record in France. Welcome back. President Uhuru Kenyatta has rallied the African Union, AU, to end the increasing cases of political instability and insecurity on the continent by taking decisive action. Uhuru, who spoke in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, when he delivered the progress report of the African Union Peace and Security Council, noted the deteriorating situation was undermining the continent's socio-economic progress.
Speaking during the 35th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the AU, President Kenyatta called for decisive action against rising political instability and insecurity in Africa, terming the situation a worrying trend that needs to be decisively dealt with.
A number of challenges continue to undermine efforts by member states to re-establish state authority in conflict-affected areas, and furthermore, the adverse effects of climate change continues to impede the continent's socio-economic development efforts, thereby exasperating threats to human security, peace and stability. All these challenges are calling for a redoubling and enhanced coordinated efforts in order to address the resurgence of unconstitutional changes in government.
On the conflict in Western Sahara, President Kenyatta decried the escalating military tension between the Kingdom of Morocco and the Sahrawi Arabic Democratic Republic, despite the various UN and AU resolutions that proposed measures to de-escalate the tension.
In this regard, the Assembly may wish to request the Peace and Security Council to discharge its mandate on the conflict in Western Sahara in accordance with the relevant provisions of its protocol and the relevant Assembly decision by reviewing the situation in the Western Sahara as necessary at heads of state and government level.
Earlier, President Kenyatta, who arrived in the Ethiopian capital on Saturday morning, witnessed the transfer of the African Union's chairmanship from President Felix Tshisekedi of DR Congo to his Senegalese counterpart Macky Sall during the opening ceremony of the two-day summit. Speaking about the conflict in Tigray, Ethiopia, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said his government was taking all necessary steps to ensure that law and order was restored. On Sunday, President Kenyatta, who is the current chairperson of the African Leaders Malaria Alliance, ALMA, will present a progress report on the fight against malaria on the continent.
Cancer remains the most expensive killer disease, not only in Kenya but globally. Locally, breast cancer remains the most diagnosed type of cancer at 16%, according to the World Health Organization. Waitherero Chege, a breast cancer patient from Mbeere South, says money used on medication is way too high. Waitherero was diagnosed with breast cancer stage 2 in 2015. She has been in and out of several hospitals and still counting. She attributes this to the high costs associated with the disease. And as the world marks the Global Cancer Month, Waitherero hopes well-wishers will help her acquire the much-needed funds to finance her treatment. Irene Muchuma reports.
In the small village of Kandogo, Mbeere South, Embu County, we meet Ruth Waitherero Chege. Waitherero was diagnosed with breast cancer stage 2 in 2015. It took time for her immediate family to come to terms with the results and even lost hope on her survival.
Monday nikaambia mzee sasa hapa venye tutafanya. Sasa hata yeye unajua amestuka kwa sababu ninataka kutolewa immediately, sina pesa. Yeye hana pesa, hakuna pesa. Sasa hiyo kujitayarisha atapata pesa wapi na nataka kutolewa haraka iwezekanavyo.
7 years down the line, Waitherero is still living with hopes of getting proper treatment on the breast cancer. Her doctor has reassured her of expertise to recovery once she acquires the required funds amounting to millions of shillings. In Bomashoge, Burabu, Aska Nyaboke, aged 61, is facing similar dilemma: funds to facilitate her cancer treatment.
Tarehe 3 mwezi wa 11 hiyo pesa nikafika huko nikakuta inatakikana pesa mingi nifanyiwe CT scan na ingine ni ya kutibiwa. Sasa nikarudi pure ndio nilikuja kuwa mgonjwa.
Nyaboke urgently requires 6.1 million shillings for treatment at the Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital, and her family can't afford the money.
Sasa ninaomba Kenya msima mwenye anasikia hii sauti muendelea kunisaidia, kwa maana sina chochote nyumbani. Najua hii ugonjwa wa kansa yani imenifanya tu nimekuwa maskini sana.
Well-wishers can reach Nyaboke on mobile number 0796 523743. The number once again is 0796 523743. Waitherero and Nyaboke represents a large number of Kenyans out there suffering with nowhere or no one to turn to. The government during this year's World Cancer Day, marked Friday, said it is working at bringing down the cost of cancer treatment in the country.
Let us never forget that our hope and prayer is that what is being done by President Uhuru Kenyatta in this agenda called health can continue and grow and improve as life goes on for Kenyans.
Irene Mchuma Odim, The Legends Edition.
Cataract, one of the leading causes of blindness in humans, has become a nightmare among residents of Baringo County and its environs. It is reported that many residents, especially adults, have lost their eyesight due to the disease that is triggered by various underlying issues. And as Kamche Menza reports, a medical outreach camp conducted in the area identified over 1,500 patients. Eye specialists caution that the high numbers are worrying.
A two-day medical outreach camp at the Timboroa and Igure Health Centers in Eldama Ravine, Baringo County, attracted many. It was a free eye screening and treatment camp, one that residents say will not have come at a better time. Loss of vision is an order of the day here. Richard Lobong is one of the victims who hopes that his visit here will restore his vision.
Mimi ni mtu ya kukaa kwa jumba tu. Kama ni kwenda kwa haja kidogo napelekwa na watoto.
He says he was a police officer and his eyesight was intact, but in 2010 his vision was affected.
Kani affect sana. Mpaka juzi sasa nikaretire. Kuretire sasa ika affect mimi kabisa. Mpaka nikakaa kwa nyumba tu.
Francis Maina too knows the pain of abrupt loss of eyesight.
Nilikuwa kazini nikasikia hii jicho moja imejifunika tu safari moja. Nikashindwa ni nini, najua iniumi.
But the numbers of residents here who have been literally living in partial light or total darkness is disturbing. Doctors say these are cataract disease cases.
The numbers are overwhelming. There's a huge need for operations because of cataracts.
Out of 3,000 residents who turned up for the checkup, 1,500 needed treatment, with 750 being so severe and needed surgery to restore their vision. Eye specialists from the Muslim Aid Agency say the outreach was necessitated by high numbers of referrals from the county. Ophthalmologists have also warned of an upsurge in childhood cataract.
Cataracts can be associated with diseases of the body, diseases like hypertension, diabetes.
Prolonged use of some of the drugs like steroids tend to have eventually they develop cataract. We also have trauma.
Poverty, lack of awareness of eye health, and normal belief of a disease associated with the old are some of the reasons behind the high numbers in the county. It is, however, a new dawn for these patients in Baringo, as they say, let the guests come so that the host may benefit.
Kabisa na kuona si unashika tumbo.
Sasa hii ngapi?
Moja.
Unafurahi?
Nafurahi.
Kamche Menza for the Legends Edition.
Kilifi County is advocating for a total ban on the use of diapers, saying it is a major polluter of the oceans. Environmentalists in the area say disposable diapers are posing a great danger to the environment than that caused by the banned plastic carrier bags. Purity Museo reports.
This is one of the dumping sites in Malindi Town, Kilifi County. Mountains of soiled disposable diapers are rapidly building up. The hazard disposal finding itself in every available space, such as this open drainage system. The county's waste management department saying the menace is not limited to Malindi but other towns are too affected.
Swala hili pia tumeliona ni changamoto na tutaona vile tunavyoweza kufanya ili kusaidiana wananchi kwa ujumla ili kuhakikisha kwamba disposal ya diapers inaangaziwa vilivyo ili kuhakikisha kwamba miji yetu inakuwa safi zaidi.
Kilifi County Director of Environment Zena Mohammed says that single-use plastics and baby diapers form a huge part of non-biodegradable waste in the area.
Hizi diapers zimekuwa kwa wingi na zimekuwa changamoto katika hali ya kusafisha miji yetu kwa sababu haziwezi kuwa disposed of.
According to experts, tons of non-decomposing baby diapers usually find their way to the beach and into the Indian Ocean, thereby becoming a threat to marine life.
Hizi diapers hazichomeki wala hazifanyiki lolote. Kwa hivyo nilikimbilia ofisi ya kwa Asad Sheumbe, nikazungumza naye akanipa hapa Mr. Mwalongo, kisha akanipa Madam Zena, tukazunguza pamoja na wakaniambia ni waite wa kazi ili tufanye usafi. Kwa siku ya leo nafurahika tuonesha kitu ambacho kilichoko ambacho ni live, na pia naomba katika ofisi yao tufanye awareness, tuje tena tukutane na wananchi tufanye usafi.
The environmentalists who are currently leading a cleanup campaign in Malindi town say recycling of diapers has proven to be a challenge. They want the National Environment Management Authority NEMA to intervene by putting an end to their use.
Ni wito wetu kama Kilifi County kutoa kwa hawa ambao wanatengeneza hizi diapers kwamba waweze kushughulika na ile EPR. Hii ni Extended Producers Responsibility. Kwamba yeye kama ambaye ni mfanyabiashara wa kutoa hizo diapers analo jukumu la kuhakikisha kwamba hizi diapers hazichafui mazingira yetu.
Purity Museo, The Legends Edition.
121 people have been tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours from a sample size of 6,454, this representing a 1.9% positivity rate. Unfortunately, 3 patients succumbed to the disease, bringing the cumulative fatalities to 5,607. Only 6.1 million Kenyans are fully vaccinated against the government's target of 27 million. A total of 13 million vaccines have been administered since the rollout in March last year. 183,382 booster shots have been administered. Between Friday and Saturday, 117 patients recovered from the disease, with total recoveries now at 295,697. Globally, there have been 386 million confirmed cases of COVID-19. 5.7 million deaths have been reported to the World Health Organization. The Kenya Kwanza Alliance now wants the president to assure Kenyans of a free and fair election, free from any state machinery interference. The leaders took issue with reports that the president intends to handpick ODM party leader Raila Odinga's running mate in the August polls. As June Karisa reports, the trio insists the Raila Odinga-led movement is just but a government project.
Matuga, Kwale County was the first stopover for the Kenya Alliance Brigade, followed by Likoni before pitching its final camp at the Tononoka grounds in Mombasa in its second day at the coast. The Alliance top leadership, led by Deputy President William Ruto, took issue with the president on the claims that he intends to handpick a running mate for the ODM party leader Raila Odinga in the forthcoming polls.
Wakenya hawawezi kupigia kura puppet ya mtu yoyote. Wakenya hawawezi kupigia kura kibaraka ya mtu yoyote. Wakenya hawa wamechanuka, watapiga kura mahali ambapo wanajua maslahi yao iko na mpango.
Wachana na uchaguzi wa mwaka huu, wa Kenya wachague yule wanampenda kuwa rais wa nchi hii. Ukiingilia uchaguzi utachichafua. We want to give you the dignity that Mzee Kibaki is enjoying in Kenya today.
If Kenyans decide and we underpin democracy with free and fair elections, Kenya shall be the best country that you can ever want to live in.
Tunakuheshimu na ni haki yako kuchagua unayetaka kumpigia kura yako moja. Kwa nini Raila ataanguka mwaka huu? Kwa sababu Uhuru Kenyatta anataka kujiridhi kupitia kitendawili, na Wakenya wamesema la.
Your time is up. Arrange for you to go home. Don't interfere with your succession because you will not succeed.
The leaders further vowed to scuttle plans to amend the election laws, saying the move was a recipe for election irregularities.
Atukimaliza kura, unaenda kukaa kwa giza, TV imezimwa, radio imezimwa, mitandao imezimwa, mpaka ungojee kwa hiari ya mtu fulani ndio watangaze. Mnakubali hiyo?
The trio defended their pact, saying it was meant to realize the economic liberation of the country.
Kenya Kwanza is not about retribution, but Kenya Kwanza is about justice.
Tubadilishe uchumi kwanza, ndio tupange ajira ya vijana wetu, na tupange biashara ya kila mtu, na tupange kilimo kwanza, tuondoe njaa.
Local leaders allied to the Kenya Kwanza Alliance vowed to weaken ODM's popularity in the region.
Mimi na Musalia tulisukuma gurudumu ya mzee Raila. Huyo mzee ni mzito, hasukumiki.
Hii Mombasa si mali ya mtu, Mombasa ni yetu sote. Na safari hii, raundi hii, sisi ndio kusema, ama namna gani?
Mimba ya mwanaharamu inaingia mara moja. Ya pili ni kusudi. Mulitiwa mimba 2017, musitiwe tena mimba 2022.
The ball squarely lies with the residents at the coast to either accept or reject the Arctic's gospel inroads that will propel their state house bid come August 9th. Juni Karisa Mbele from Tononoka, Mombasa County.
The United Democratic Party leader Cyrus Jirongo says the One Kenya Alliance will partner with other like-minded parties whose vision is to have a united and prosperous country. Jirongo, who is one of the OCA principals, says any negotiation between their outfit and other political formations will focus on how to reboot the country's economy, but not positions. Timothy Kipnusu with more details.
The political realignment ahead of the August polls continued to take shape, with OCA saying it was open for any party or coalition sharing the common ideology. The United Democratic Party leader Cyrus Jirongo, one of the OCA's affiliate party, revealed that the negotiation they intend to have with Azimio la Umoja will not be about position but what can transform the country.
We want to discuss with our friends in Azimio, but it must be in a structured manner. And when we discuss with them, it is not like Jirongo discussing with them. It is a team called One Kenya Alliance.
Tunafanya mpango na mimi nafurahia Kalonzo Musyoka yuko njiani na kikundi chake kuungana na Azimio.
Meanwhile, Mombasa leaders under the umbrella of Azimio la Umoja drummed up support for the presidential candidate Raila Odinga. The leaders, led by Mvita Member of Parliament who is eyeing the Mombasa gubernatorial seat Abdul Swamad Sharif, urged Mombasa residents to register as voters ahead of the August polls.
Raila Amolo Odinga ameweza kuhakikisha ya kuwa tumeweza kupata revolution ya kidemokrasia. Tunataka kuhakikisha ya kuwa Wakenya wawe na fedha mfukoni na sio kwa lugha ya ulahai.
Elsewhere, James Kamau, a 31-year-old from Murang'a County, is the new entrant in the race to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta. Speaking after launching his manifesto in Nairobi, Kamau says if elected president, he will deal decisively with corruption by giving 100 days amnesty.
After the expiry of 100 days, we are going to introduce a tribunal through judiciary to look at all the expenses, at all the expenditures of all 47 counties and of all the national government for the past 50 years.
Our first political rally will be in Murang'a.
Timothy Kipnusu for Legends Edition.
Local leaders and the business community from Marsabit town have called for speedy investigations into the disappearance of Roba Abdub Saleka, who was abducted by unknown people in Nairobi's South Sea estate. The leaders are now warning that the alleged abduction and disappearance of the prominent businessman from Marsabit on Wednesday could jeopardize the ongoing peace-building process in the country. This and more stories in our County News Roundup.
Led by local Marsabit branch SUPKEM chairperson cum businessman Jilo Falana and the Kenya Chamber of Commerce and Industry chairperson Jack Elisha, the leaders noted that the security situation was fluid in the county.
Kusanyika kwetu leo hapa ni kuomba serikali, passionate appeal to the government. Kama huyu mtu ana hatia aletwe kotini. Kama hana hatia aachiliwe arudi kwa watu wake.
And Narok County Commissioner Isaac Masinde has directed all chiefs and village elders to give him a list of those who are aiding FGM in their areas of jurisdiction as the government seeks to eliminate FGM. Masinde noted 15% of those performing the cut are medics in the local health centers and private hospitals, while others are old women in the villages.
Hii ukeketaji wa wasichana wetu ni kichume na sharia na katiba yetu, na pia tuko na Children's Act. Ni mambo ya human rights.
On the same breath, Migori County has launched the Youth Anti-FGM Network that aims to help in the fight against FGM.
It's very important for us to engage the youth because we understand that for us to end FGM, then it has to end within this particular generation.
Elsewhere, Kilifi County government is on the spot for failure to replace the retired healthcare workers, a turn of events that has crippled provision of healthcare services.
At least we are right now filling that gap, and once we are done with the replacements, then we will go according to our strategic plans to do the additional staff.
Meanwhile, leaders from Athi River have held a closed-door meeting with EPZ leadership to unravel the stalemate following protests by workers over salary delays, among other grievances.
We want investors, but we want investors who respect the rights of Kenyan workers and investors who respect the labor laws of this country.
Finally, over 5,000 scrap metal dealers in Nakuru County have appealed to the government to lift the temporary ban on the trade. Led by Nakuru Scrap Metal Association chairperson Joseph Wandaka, the traders want the president to ensure the new guidelines are quickly put in place so as to avert more losses.
Sisi tunalete 100 million every day wale watu wako Kenya mzima. Hiyo ndio ile pesa inapotea kwa vile sisi miras wetu wamefunga wale wanasiaga chuma.
For Legends Edition, I'm Ruth Wamboi.
Toby Lamila is all set with the latest in sports. He'll join us after the break. Stay with us.
Ili kupata skiza tune hii ya mtu ni watu, bonyeza *811*961#.
Mungu akitaka kukubariki atatumia watu. Maombi yako akitaka kuyajibu atatumia mtu. Hauwezi ukakaa maisha ya kujitenga. Hapana, sababu unahitaji watu. Angalia, toka nje, wacha kukaa peke yako. Toka, kutana na watu. Jumuika na watu. penda watu, furahia watu, zungumza na watu. Baraka
ili kupata skiza tune hiyo ya mtu ni watu, bonyeza *811 961 hash, *811 961 hash.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
What did you borrow from the previous regime? 2.1 billion. 2.1 billion. That's a whole financial. Yeah. That's a whole budget of development for one financial year. Yes. So in essence, we are saying the former has actually done 2 terms. Oh, that's a painful one to the last one. I'm the only ODM person in Tana. You don't have an MCA in ODM? Not even a single one, not even the speaker. Jimmy has a small party. The deputy president is my speaker. He's my speaker. Already you can imagine, we have not gone anywhere. Already we have a deputy president. Or a different party. Or a different party. Serving in your county. Serving in my county.
Good evening. Once again, it's a big welcome to the sports edition. In the Legends edition this Saturday evening, we hope that you're all fine and brimming for the sports updates lined up for you this evening. Among them, the Kenya track starting off the season. Under the international scene, Omanyala is the news. So stay with us. Now, Kenyan Japan-based 5,000-meter athlete Wesley Ledama has said his focus will be on this year's Commonwealth Games that will be held in Birmingham, UK from the 28th July to the 8th of August. Ledama shared the sentiments after emerging victorious in the 5,000-meter race as the first Athletics Kenya track and field championships for the new season culminated at the Nyayo National Stadium. Mokia has this report for us.
The 2-day Athletics Kenya Track and Field Championship, which brought together athletes drawn from different regions in the country, culminated at Nyayo National Stadium. Kenyan Japan-based 5,000 meters athlete Wesley Ledama, who is currently training in Bomet, showed a splendid performance, finishing the first position in the 5,000 meters race.
Kwa majina naitwanga Wesley Ledama. Hii ni fan yangu ya kwanza kwa hii season ya 2022. So chenye naona nilikuwa na pace kama wakati wanafanyiwa trial ya World Championship. Ilitoroka hivyo ndio manage. So nilikuwa napiga hivyo ndio nione penye makosa itakuwa nirekebishe.
Agnes Mumbua produced a stellar performance in the women's 10,000 meters after timing 33 minutes 17.18 seconds, followed by Emily Chebet, who clocked 33 minutes 55.52 seconds. Mary Mora continued her form of brilliance in the 400 meters, finishing fast in 53.41 seconds. The second AK track and field weekend meeting is slated for 19th of this month in Kisumu. Frederick Muki for Legends edition.
A Kenyan Sportsman of the Year and Africa's fastest man, Ferdinand Omanyala, set a new national record of 6.63 seconds in his 60-meter debut at the Miramas meeting at the World Indoor Tour in France. Tokyo Olympic semi-finalists twice broke the 17-year-old national record of 6.70 seconds set by Paul Vince-Obuon in 2005. He broke the 17-year-old national record in heats where he clocked 6.65 seconds before plunging it to 6.63 in the final as he finished first Omanyala's time is also the fastest time at the stadium after eclipsing the previous record of 6.68 set by Iranian Hassan Taftian in January last year. Muthiomi has his report for us.
Qui va faire la différence, c'est vraiment lui le plus fort, même sur 60 mètres, même si Marissa, il ne réussit pas le...
Former 10,000-meter world champion Moses Tanui has urged Kenyan Olympians to join the Kenya Olympian Association, which has officially been launched in Kenya. The association is headed by Tanui, will cater for the welfare of the active and former Olympians. Mwoki with a report for us.
In a bid to cater for the welfare of sportsmen and women who represented Kenya in the Olympics, former 10,000 meters world champion Moses Tanui, together with former sprinter and middle distance runner Tekla Temabwai and Lydia Okech, who was the first woman to represent Kenya in Olympics, have formed an association.
Our duty is to make sure that Kenyan Olympians are recognized by the World Olympian Association. Right now, we are doing the registering all the Olympians.
Our mandate is to look into the affairs of Olympians, to improve their welfare, to look up to upcoming Olympians, potential Olympians. So we are focusing all the sporting federations.
Our Olympians are suffering a lot. They actually represent the country. When the games or the sport ends, nobody remembers them. So as the president puts, this is the home. We want to make an impact. We want to see how we can help our Olympians, because after the games, nobody remembers them.
The association is calling on Olympians to register for free and become active members in order to make the association vibrant.
The Kenya Para Taekwondo national team finished fourth in the 5th edition of the Africa Para Taekwondo Championships held in Niamey, Niger. The team of 9 athletes who competed in 2 class divisions won a total of 4 medals, 1 silver and 3 bronze medals, and also won the Fair Play Award. Lena Muthoni won the silver after losing to Darcy Marima from the Cameroon in the under 65 kilogram category, K44 division finals. Judy Wangare won a bronze medal, having lost in the semi-finals to Flora Kimoto from the Central African Republic. So did Linda Birita and Joseph Owino. Hosts Niger, Ghana and Egypt were the top 3 teams in the tournament. Now, Muindi Rian emerged victorious in the 14-year and above competition during the Nakifeo Invitational Swimming Championships held at the Makini School here in Nairobi. Muindi won the boys' 100-meter medley relay category in a record time of 1 minute 25.57 seconds. Felix with a report.
Muindi emerged victorious in the 14 years and above 100-meter medley relay boys category after beating Kimathi Kwame and Brian Karaoke to the 2nd and 3rd positions respectively. Mumbuwa Joy triumphed in 8 to 9 years meter medley girls category ahead of Daryl Ndanu and Nina Olive respectively.
We are here for the first event post-COVID swimming championship invitational at Makini School. We are looking at a wide range of swimmers who are doing their introduction for swimming. Most of them have never swum before, but this is their stage, the first stage. We are nurturing them slowly so that in future they can be champions in Kenya and they swim for this nation.
It was tough and easy, but I did my best. Yeah.
It helps me grow and be strong.
In the other events, Mudachi William finished first in 7 years in under 25-meter butterfly boys category, whereas Waithera Abigail secured victory in 10 to 11 years meter medley relay within 2 minutes 53.2 seconds.
Now, for the past 2 weeks, the soccer world has been trailing their eyes on Africa, specifically the African Nations Cup, whose curtains come down tomorrow evening. But today was the penultimate day. Cameroon coach Tony Conjecao has called on his players to move on after they failed in the bid to clinch the Africa Cup of Nations title on home soil, ahead of their third-place playoff match against Burkina Faso tonight. The indomitable Lions failed to reach the final of the 33rd edition in Yaoundé after falling 3-1 on penalties to Egypt after the two nations are tied 0-0 in normal and extra time. The defeat against the Pharaohs ended Cameroon's run to win a sixth AFCON title, having won in 1984, 1988, 2000 and 2002 and 2017. The clash between Cameroon and Burkina Faso will be a repeat of the opening fixture of the tournament, when the hosts came from a goal down to win 2-1 on the 9th of January this year. The final between Egypt and Senegal will be played tomorrow night. The Muli Children's Family MCF Football Club, which currently features in the National Super League, NSL, it's the only football team from Eastern region taking part in the league. The club has hit headlines for its tremendous efforts in providing avenues for teaming, development and practice to children from vulnerable families neglected or abused. Frederick Moki spent time with the club's players and technical bench in Dalani, Machakos County, and compiled the following story for us.
Talent is an exceptional skill that, when nurtured, plays a huge role in transformation of a society. It is in this regard that Dr. Charles Muli, a man of God and a business philanthropist, founded the Muli Children's Home Football Club in 2017.
One of the things that made me to start this club, Muli Children's Family Football Club, is the manner in which myself, I love sports and the games. The second is about when our young people grew up here and they became so fond of this kind of playing football and athletics and many things. I decided now to start formally a club, that is Muli Children Family Football Club. And we started right from the county, and then we went through Division 1, Division 2, 3, and then we were promoted to Super National League.
It is among the programs that he initiated to provide children and young people with valuable information and life skill tools to actively make a difference in their own lives.
We have invested quite a lot also in the farm because that's where we get income out of the work that we do, horticulture, irrigation that we do. We pump the water from the river, and out of that we are able to get really good food.
MCF Football Club is patronized by Muli Children's Family under Dr. Muli's sponsorship. The club was officially registered by Football Kenya Federation FKF in 2017, took part in the FKF National Division 1 League before getting promotion into the second tier National Super League this season. The club continues to inspire and foster football development at both the county and national level. MCF Football Club is highly motivated with a blend of both experienced young players with a vision of turning out for the national team one day.
Tumeweka matumaini yetu sana na tunaweka bidii sana kumake sure tumewania position zile za maana za mbele, ya kwanza ama ya pili, ndio tuweze kuingia katika Kenya Premier League. Ijakuwa rahisi kwetu kwa maana mpira ni competitive na iko na mambo nyingi, lakini tunasukumana nayo to make sure hao vijana wako hapa ambao Dr. Charles Muli amewaleta in terms of kuwapea job. Wengine amewarescue kutoka section different, anajaribu kuona anaweza nurture their talent aje, na wengine pia kuwapea kazi katika uchezaji wa mpira, ndio waweze kusaidia na wale vijana wenye wamekuzwa kutoka hapa, ndio pia wao waweze kuinuka na waweze kujua maana ya talent na sports.
Nilikuja hapa Boma 2004 na kutoka hiyo wakati vile nilijoin hapa hiyo 2004 vile niligundua kuwa naweza cheza, nimekuwa nikitrain nikiwa kutoka class 6, nimekuwa nikitrain tu, zingine tuko wengi, zingine unakuta uko peke yako, ile individual training.
The club is led by experienced and veteran coach David Mahila and is seeking sponsorship as it envisions playing in the Kenyan Premier League.
Saizi kuna shida sana ya finance. Kwa mfano saizi kuna wachezaji wangu wako Mathare, kuna wengine pia kwa Sofapaka. Unasikia mtu kama Wazito wanaenda sijui miezi ngapi wajalipwa, so unapata in the process mzana sign contract lakini pia hiyo pesa apate, so unapata tuna decline kwa sababu ile kitu tumeaidia na mchezaji upate. Sisi tuko home and away, kwa hivyo game zote zetu ziko away, kwa sababu tulikuwa tunachezea maybe within hapa Machakos in terms of mafans wetu na kiwanja yetu ingekuwa ni advantage, kwa sababu kwa mfano timu inatoka Kisumu tunachezea Thika, sisi wote tuko away. Kwa hivyo mimi ningefurahia sana kama tungepata kiwanja yetu, kwa sababu itacheza part kubwa kwa morale ya team na morale ya mafans wakuje pia waone game. Kwa hivyo ningefurahia sana kama tungekuwa na kiwanja yetu.
The team has amassed 11 points from its opening 8 matches, having won 3, drawn 2 and lost in 3 games. All is not lost for Muli Children's Family Football Club, which started playing competitive football in 2017 after getting promotion to the Division 1 and now playing the National Super League. The team has hopes of playing in the top Kenyan Premier League next season. Reporting for Legends Edition from Ndalani in Machakos County, my name is Frederick Mwoki.
Now to the international scene. Norway's Therese Johaug dominated the women's 15-kilometer skiathlon to win the first gold medal of the 2022 Winter Olympics. The 33-year-old, who has won 14 world titles, had never won an individual Olympic gold medal, but she powered her way to finish 30 seconds clear of the pack. Her gold comes just a day after the game's opening ceremony.
24th edition of the Winter Olympics officially got underway after the Olympic cauldron was lit in a restrained opening ceremony in Beijing. Almost 3,000 athletes from 91 nations will compete across the games. The International Olympic Committee had been criticized for awarding the games to China because of the country's alleged human rights abuses. IOC President Thomas Bach said one of the missions of the games was to unite humankind in all diversity. Beijing is the first city to host both the summer and winter editions of an Olympic Games, with the opening ceremony held in the iconic Bird's Nest Stadium that was built for the 2008 Games. Just as in Tokyo 6 months ago, there were no paying spectators, friends or family present in the stands, although there were diplomats and team members applauding the athletes on. Representatives of 56 ethnic groups from across China relayed the national flag into the stadium to begin the opening ceremony. The Olympic rings themselves emerged from a frozen block of ice, with athletes entering the arena underneath them. Barclay Feather, Legends Edition.
And that's all we had for you on the Sports Edition this Saturday evening. You'll join Fayaz later to introduce the talk today. And remember, it's Subhash Modi, one of the elite cricket legends of this country, has produced. It is going to be, for any sportsman and woman, it should be the interview to watch. I'm Topi Liambila saying goodbye for now, but see you again next Saturday for another edition of the Sports Roundup. It was glad having you and having you watch us. Stay tuned to KBC Channel 1.
Beacon Furnitures Limited. We're local manufacturers of quality office furniture, dealers in quality office equipment like fireproof safes and cabinets. Our automated state-of-the-art factories at Henna House along Enterprise Road in Nairobi's industrial area. Our showroom is at Uniafric House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street. We are passionate believers in locally manufactured goods. When you and I buy locally made furniture, we impact on the livelihoods of our brothers and sisters. For orders, visit our showroom at Uniafric House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street. Beacon Furnitures Limited. Jenga Kenya, tupate ajira.
Welcome, I am Fayaz Qureshi. Our guest on The Living Legends has been a print production manager, but that is not what he's known for. He's better known as a match official. He's officiated at the Commonwealth Games, a Champions Trophy and a World Cup. In his sport, he's the only man to have confirmed the dismissal of his son from a one-day international. In this edition, we hear from now retired elite cricket umpire Subhash Modi. Subhash, it's an absolute pleasure. I've been a big fan of yours. I was a cricketer during my youth, and I think you were one of the best umpires that I've ever come across.
Thank you.
And that's from the heart.
Thank you.
So it's great to have you here. Subhash Modi, welcome to Living Legends.
Thank you very much, Fayaz, and it's also good to be here with Fayaz yourself, Mr. Bhawame, and the KBC team. It's an honor, and I'm humbled to be here.
Thank you very much for being the host for our show.
Yeah, thank you.
Subhash, you were born in Zanzibar and then moved to Kenya, which became home to you. Tell us about your early life.
Yes, I was born in Zanzibar on 30th March 1946. Beautiful island of Zanzibar.
Lovely.
Yes, I was educated. I had my primary education at ESM Madrasa School, and that school was near Mnazimoza Sports Ground, where senior cricketers used to play. Like there were Ismailis, Bora team, Hindus team. They used to play competitive cricket every Sunday.
Okay.
And sometimes I used to go and offer my services as a scorer, and the teams used to guide me how to do scoring, and you know that inspired me some short to have interest, generated interest in the noble game of cricket from my young days of Zanzibar. Yeah.
Now, the first World Cup was held in 1975.
Correct.
And of course, we went at that point in time as East Africa. How competitive was it?
It was very competitive.
Competing between Kenya and Uganda.
Well,
to get a place.
I'll tell you one thing, Uganda had a good side. Kenya also had a good side, and Tanzania also had a good side, because we used to play East Africa.
Of course, with Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we included Zambia. And
Zambia even came
then
in the fold
Zambia
of
came
East
later
Africa.
on. Then it became East and Central Africa.
And it was a pretty good team.
Yeah, pretty good team. And then I'll tell you one thing. We must give credit to late Hardyal Singh, Jantibai Patel, and Mr. Jasmer Singh. They, for KC officials, they work hard. They realize that it is no good for our players to get associated with Tanzania and Uganda, when most of our players deserve to be in that team, East African team. So we separated from East African, what you call, sort of territory association.
Tell us also a little more about umpiring at ICC World Cup qualifiers and the scrutiny that comes with officiating at such a tournament.
Yeah, scrutiny is a very good subject you brought. Now, first I'll talk about the scrutiny. I was doing one of the international games at Nairobi Gymkhana.
Yeah.
There was one gentleman, I don't remember, but he came, I think, from Pakistan. He was the anti-corruption official of ICC.
Right.
He comes to me in the morning, he says, "Are you Mr. Modi?" I said, "I am." He said, "Are you umpiring this game?" I said, "Yes, I am." is your son playing in this game? I said, he is. So he says, can you provide me with the entire match, what they call it, recorded video of the entire match? So I told him, actually, I'm not the production manager of this TV, the video company, but I can take you over there, and he will be pleased to give you a copy of the... So he at least put something in my mind that I am being monitored. My progress is going to be monitored, because they are so brilliant. You know, they are also looking at the eye contact. Sometimes they come into the changing room where the umpires are having lunch or something. They will just come and behind you, and you would not know who these gentlemen are. Sometimes, you know. Sometimes they introduce themselves, sometimes they don't. And then umpiring at the ICC level, you know, actually it's a privilege, it's an honor, I would say. Not only honor for me and my family, it's an honor for the country Kenya, you know. 100%. Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Yes.
For you as a Kenyan and for us as a nation.
Yes.
It's such an extreme honor.
Right.
That, you know, our Kenyan is representing us at an international event. Now let's talk about some of the high-profile events you umpired in. Okay, you did the 1998 Commonwealth Games in Malaysia. You were also the fourth umpire at the 1999 Cricket World Cup, and the 2000 Champions Trophy was another major event you took part in.
Yes.
How memorable were these events? Tell us a little bit more about.
All were memorable. You know, umpiring at Commonwealth Games, you know, before the tournament started, you know, having a march in front of thousands of people from all over the world, you know, and all the teams, you know. And then umpiring, I was given a first game, South Africa versus Northern Ireland in Kuala Lumpur. So, and John Reid, the former New Zealand captain, was the match referee. So we had a good game.
It's a high-profile game.
Yeah, high-profile game. And then second game, it was between South Africa and Bangladesh. And that game, I'll tell you one thing, Fayaz. Whenever Bangladesh bowler used to appeal, 3,000 spectators of Bangladesh used to appeal. How was that? Yeah, on the ground. And
I can imagine the extreme pressure.
Yes.
When the crowd is so big and large.
Yes.
And they're supporting a particular team.
And that was not only a live game. And we had world well-known commentators like Ravi Shastri. He was one of the commentators, you know. But you know, when we are umpiring, our concentration is on the pitch, on the ground. We don't know who is looking there or who is there. You know, we are not worried. But thank God, with the blessings of God, we had a good tournament. You know.
Now this is very interesting. You called an LBW leg before wicket on Hitesh when he was playing against Bangladesh for Kenya in 2006. What was the reaction in the stands, and what was it like, most importantly, at the dinner table at home in the evening?
I tell you, but my wife supported me. My wife told my son, he was
what was Hitesh's reaction?
Yeah, Hitesh's reaction was that, initially when I did the first ODI match, West Indies versus Kenya at Sikh Union, he was not disturbed because I didn't have to give him out. He got out caught, by...
But this decision was by his father?
Yes, by me. So, in the evening, he told my wife that I think Daddy now should not umpire when I am playing because it makes me nervous, you know. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, when he is playing, I take him as I don't take him as my son, I take him as a player.
Yeah.
You see, otherwise if I have to look like that, you know, and my umpiring not only is watched on televised by millions of people around the world. There is a captain who is writing report on umpires. There is a match referee who is writing report. And we had Roshan Mahanama from Sri Lanka. And I was umpiring with Hari Aran from India, you know.
And you're also a Kenyan selector. Tell us a little bit about that role.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was appointed by Kenya Cricket Association as one of the selectors. At that time, Sunil Sarkar, one of the finest cricket umpires, was our convener. And then we had let Mahmood Qureshi in the Mahmood Qureshi was like our secretary. He used to write minutes and everything.
A very good cricketer as well.
Very good, brilliant cricketer, team manager of Kenya. You know, when Kenya reached the semi-finals under the captainship of Maurice Odumbe, and my son also was the vice captain in the World Cup. And you know, you interviewed Asif Karim. He had a brilliant spell against Australia for his brilliant bowling performance.
What a memorable spell.
World-class bowling performance by Asif.
World-class bowling performance.
Yes. So, Sunil Sarkar was a disciplined, good man. And that time, we used to have proper minutes and we used to have selection meeting. Sometimes we used to have at Gymkhana, sometimes at Gone Institute, sometimes at Sarali. We used to go everywhere. And we used to keep too much confidentiality about the selection. And then the selection used to go to Kenya Cricket Association. And then they used to bless us whether the selection is in order.
So it was being handled very professionally.
Very professionally. Yeah. And then...
with a strict code of conduct.
Yes.
And confidentiality.
Yes. And 1994 was the first time when Kenya entered into international arena of cricket, because we reached the finals at Ruaraka Sports Club. We lost very closely to UAE in the finals. And the team was brilliantly captained by Tom Tikolo.
Yes, another legend.
Yes, another legend.
Now, your experience of having met heads of states, Honorable President, the late Daniel Arap Moi, at State House before going to the Commonwealth Games in Malaysia in 1988. And, of course, the King of Malaysia during the Commonwealth Games in Malaysia, and the Queen of England at the Buckingham Palace in 1999 during the Cricket World Cup. So you've been extremely honoured.
Yes, not only me, but all the Kenyans.
To have met all these heads of state.
The sporting contingent were really honoured. Very honoured and humble. And I'll tell you one thing. You know, when we see these top heads of states, you know, we have different feelings about what. When you meet them, you know, they are like us and they are so friendly.
It's a very humbling experience, isn't it?
And I'll tell you one thing. We were told, you know, we were given a letter before going to meet the Queen, that we have to address her like Ma, or the Prince Phillips as His Royal Highness. So when my turn came, I shook hand, and she was wearing the white, what you call
the glove.
And I said, I was said, Subhash Modi from Kenya. I said, I just want to take few seconds of yours. She nodded, yeah. You know, I come from Kenya, where you became the queen.
Right.
At the treetop.
She went up as a princess and came down as a queen.
That's right.
At the treetop.
And she said, yes. Okay. But pity, we were not allowed to take photos that time.
Sad. Now, of course, your experience of...
And sorry about... We were also proud to meet late Honorable President Daniel Arap Moi at the State House.
Yeah.
He was very jovial, very friendly.
That was before you went for the Commonwealth Games in Malaysia.
Yeah, yes. And in Malaysia, thanks to Mr. late Jasmer Singh. Jasmer Singh had written a book on cricket. And on the top cover, there was the photo of the King of Malaysia and Mr. Jasmer Singh together. I don't know whether you read that book.
No.
So he was watching a cricket match. So I requested, and his son actually, he was one of the ICC officials that time. We used to call him Prince, you know. So I used his influences. Can I go and see King of Malaysia, your father? He says, okay. He arranged some with the security, and he was watching the game, and I was escorted in front, and it was my honor to present that book. And I said, this book is from Mr. Jasmer Singh, the manager of managers and former Kenya Cricket Association chairman. And he was very pleased to receive that book.
Fine. That was an amazing experience, what you just talked about.
Yes.
Now we're going to wind up this interview. Finally, of course, you worked as with Ogilvy and Mather for 35 years, and were also recalled back as a consultant to support cricket through Ogilvy and Mather?
No, I'll tell you, let me just a little correct. Yes, I worked with Ogilvy and Mather for 35 years. And then they gave me a very good farewell gift. Besides my pension and severance pay, they gave me a cricket bat signed by the CEO, Mr. Kome Mambia, and by the team of Ogilvy and Mather East Africa, and also Ogilvy and Mather, Ogilvy PR team. And after a few months, I was recalled back by Mr. Kome, and then I again worked for 5 years. It was actually an honor, and my company, Ogilvy and Mather East Africa, originally it was called SH Benson in 1970 when I joined. Right. But I'll tell you, they were very supportive of my cricket. But before we end the interview...
I've got one last question for you. It was an extreme honor to have worked for Ogilvy and Mather. Beautiful farewell they gave you.
Yes.
And of course, them recalling you back just showed how much they appreciated you.
Yes.
Finally, a message to those who want to take the leadership of cricket Kenya in the forthcoming elections from a veteran like you.
Yes, that's a very good question. But Fayaz, I'll be honest with you. I had given my interview during Asif Karim's Kenya International Film Festival. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned there that Kenya did very well historically up to 2003.
Right.
We were climbing, and all the teams from all over the world wanted to come and play Kenya.
Yeah.
Teams from South Africa, Pakistan, India, Zimbabwe, name the teams, and they were always keen to come and play Kenya. After 2003, our cricketing graph standards dropping down. I'm not blaming.
It's been a very sad state of affairs.
I'm not
seeing the decline of Kenyan cricket.
Yes.
Where we were.
Yes.
Right from the 50s, 60s, the standards, just like you mentioned, were amazing at that point in time.
Yes.
And we've gone to such a level.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can spring back?
Of course. I am a firm believer. Kenya have talent. If right people are put in the right place, you will see Kenya can restore its glory back. I'm telling you, Fayaz, I am 100% sure. Kenya have got talent. You see, sometimes people gang up. It's not fair. Selection committee have to be transparent, accountably. We cannot just make any Tom, Dick or Harry to become the selectors. We should have that, if a team is not doing well, we should have proper reports.
There should be certain criteria and the right people should be brought into
But I'll tell you one thing, sometimes people blame the chairman. I would not blame the past chairman. Chairmen have done their best because nobody wants to do bad for their association. So chairmen have done well, but if players, they don't perform, they should take the blame,
True.
But before we end our interview, I would like to thank a few associations like my association, Kenya Cricket Umpires and Scorers Association, Kenya Cricket Association, Nairobi Provincial Cricket Association, Coast Cricket Association, Rift Valley Cricket Association, Africa Cricket Association, ICC Africa, and ICC head office. Before they were at the Lords, they were having a small office with Mr. Clive Hitchcock managing the place. Now they have moved to Dubai.
Okay.
It's a big place now. And let me tell you, you start umpiring with 20 shillings game and you give it back, and then you have so much power, so many associations backing you up, and not forgetting the blessings of God and my family, especially my wife.
That's great. Thank you so much, Subhash Modi, for being our guest on The Living Legends.
And
you are a true living legend, and of course, we highly appreciate you.
Yes, and the final word, Mr. Fayaz, you asked me a question. Those umpires would like to come up. I think they should come up. They should give something. Those cricketers who are retired, they should come forward and give something back to the game for betterment of the noble game of cricket and for the entire, I would say, cricketing sporting fraternity.
We hope for the best.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Subhash Modi.
Yeah.
A video review justified a leg before wicket call he made on his son Hitesh in 2006, making him the only father to have had his son dismissed in a cricket match. He has met the British monarch, the Malaysian king, and former President Daniel Arap Moi in the course of duty. He has given service to Kenyan cricket as a player, official, and umpire. We thank now retired elite cricket umpire Subhash Modi for giving his time on the Living Legends. I am Fayaz Qureshi. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Fayaz Qureshi. Be blessed.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Keep well, do well.
A humbling experience, such a great personality. It was great interviewing Subhash Modi, a veteran umpire. And that's all from our newsroom. Join us next week at 9 p.m. for the Legends edition, only on KBC Channel 1. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition was Byron Abudi. I am Fayaz Qureshi. Have a good night.
Taking Isaac to Moriah, we'll sacrifice to the Lord.
Father, why do we sacrifice?
We sacrifice out of obedience. It's how we worship.
My God! Have mercy, oh God!
Where is the lamb for the burnt offering?
The Lord will provide himself a lamb.
Tusirudi nyuma kwa mipaka na nchi kufungwa. Tusirudi kwa biashara na shule kufungwa. Kwa kutoweza kukutana. Kwa kutengana na tuwapendao. Tusirudi nyuma.
Na kuhitaji unikinge, pata chanjo.
Ili tuendelee na maisha vizuri.